Tonight on UI7 News, a community reacts to the weekend fire that killed 2 people in Champaign. We'll tell you what neighbors are saying.
Also, Willard Airport is making it easier for some travelers to get through security. Find out how it may benefit you.
Plus, a former U of I basketball player visits a local elementary school. See how he's bringing March Madness to Champaign.
UI7 News starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Good evening, I'm Gianna Marzetta.
And I'm Claire Lavazorio.
Champaign fire investigators are still trying to determine what caused a fire that killed 2 people.
UI7's Mia Rose went to the scene of Saturday's fire to see what people are saying.
When did they move in? I never knew anybody lived here, so.
The fire last Saturday was not a topic of neighborhood conversation. Many neighbors said they had no idea people lived in 1802 Cypress Drive. Neighbor Raymond Hill was in disbelief when he found out people lived in the house.
All of my life I've been riding past this house, walking past this house, all of that, and I never knew anybody lived here at all.
Many neighbors also admitted to not knowing the house was occupied. It is known Christian Sheehan and Sarah Schuler died in the house, but it is unknown whether they lived in the house. The Champaign County record shows Anthony Bammert as the taxpayer. He would not comment on who currently lived in the house. Bammert disclosed tenant information to the Champaign Fire Department, but Deputy Chief Officer Dave Ferber says it's Bammert's job to tell the public.
I don't know why he wouldn't disclose it, but it's his responsibility to, and I don't know that he has to disclose it either.
According to Ferber, the visitor escaped the flames and alerted neighbors of the fire. People are already leaving flowers, like these roses at the house of their deceased loved ones. Flowers decorate the lawn outside the debris. Sources have said they think Sheehan was renting the house. Hill always thought the house was just abandoned.
I just figured it was like another abandoned house that, just got set on fire, because most abandoned houses, they do get set on fire because people want to get them out of the way and rebuild a new house.
According to Champaign Fire Department, the origin of the fire is still under investigation. In Champaign, I'm Mia Rose, UI7 News.
A different fire caused significant damage early this morning to a house in the 900 block of East Fairlawn Drive in Urbana. But fortunately, this blaze had a happier ending. UI7's Cassidy Williams spoke to one resident who is thanking the firefighters.
A little after 1 a.m. this morning, Urbana resident Curtis Brigard received a phone call from the Urbana Fire Department saying that there was an emergency at his home. He quickly came back from work and found smoke pouring from the back of his house. Fire officials say the flames were substantial, but the main part of the fire was under control in around 10 minutes. The house is now uninhabitable, but Brigard said that is not what's important.
Look, as long as I'm okay and the dogs are okay, everything else here can be replaced. So that's all I was worried about, was the dogs.
Chief, Toby, and Max were all inside the house at the time of the fire. However, they all got out when fire officials arrived.
They didn't have to go in to get the dog. However, there was one firefighter, a dog came and, the firefighter actually picked the dog up. The dog jumped in his arms. So I thought that was a pretty cool deal, that he was able to actually carry the dog out to safety.
Edward says he is afraid of dogs himself, but is happy everyone is okay. Brigard and his pets are currently staying with family. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. In Urbana, I'm Cassidy Williams. Back to you in the studio.
The Champaign County coroner announced this morning that an inmate died Sunday of natural causes. Police say Paul Clifton began seizing and went into respiratory arrest at the Champaign County Jail on the morning of Easter Sunday. Correctional officers and emergency responders tried to revive him but were unsuccessful. He was pronounced dead later that morning at Carle Foundation Hospital. Today's autopsy report indicated that he did not suffer any trauma or injuries. Clifton was arrested on Saturday morning on an outstanding warrant for a probation violation.
The United States Supreme Court has rejected former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich's file of appeal to overturn his corruption conviction. 12 of his 17 felonies will remain based on the Supreme Court's decision. The Supreme Court refused to hear his lawyer's arguments that the remaining counts were political favors rather than illegal corruption. In 2011, Blagojevich was convicted for trying to sell the vacant Senate seat once occupied by President Obama. He's currently serving a 14-year sentence at a federal prison in Colorado.
The Supreme Court did not show Blagojevich any leniency, but the Urbana City Council is moving closer to lowering fines for people caught with small amounts of marijuana. The council reached a compromise last night to lower the fine from $300 to $50. The lowered fine is a compromise of two proposals, one by Alderman Aaron Ammons to lower the fine to $5 and one by Mayor Laurel Pressing to lower it to $100. After more consideration, Ammons says he understands why other council members were against his proposal.
Well, I knew I didn't have the votes for $5. After talking to council members and realizing that most people were not supportive of that, it may have cost us more as the city to actually do it at that particular level.
You want to send a message that
A final vote will take place next week.
A great sunshiny spring Tuesday in much of central Illinois today. Let's check in with UI7's Nathaniel Stewart to see what our forecast is for tonight.
Looking ahead, it looks like we'll have a pretty clear night. Here's a look at the fastcast. You can expect to see a few clouds with temperatures around 40 degrees, so you might need a jacket. Winds will be blowing southeast at 11 miles per hour. I'll be back in a few minutes with a more detailed look at your forecast for the week ahead, including a chance of some showers.
Also, University of Illinois has taken the search for a new chancellor online. Find out after the break what it takes to fill the position.
The budget impasse has delayed university financial aid grants by almost a year. We'll show you how this has affected one U of I junior.
University of Illinois students continue to face the impact of the current budget stalemate. UI7's Alejandra Reyes tells you how one student feels about the possibility of not receiving one of her financial grants.
The state of the Illinois Monetary Award Program is still unknown as students near the end of the academic year without receiving state funding. University of Illinois junior Fatima Watto receives the MAP grant and remembers the first time she was given the award.
The MAP grant was probably one of the largest, the largest scholarships or the largest grants that I had received on my financial aid. And I showed it to my mom and I said, "Mom, I'm going to U of I."
The average amount awarded to students is nearly $4,500, and some students receive almost $8,000. This year, over 5,800 University of Illinois students received the State of Illinois MAP grant, but the money did not come from the state. U of I credited the award to students, but it's still unknown whether or not students will have to repay the university at a later time. The University of Illinois Financial Aid Office has already sent out 10,000 award letters with MAP grant estimates to incoming freshmen and transfer students. It's also unknown whether the U of I will credit students if the budget stalemate continues through fall 2016. U of I's Associate Vice President of Planning and Budgeting, Randall Kangas, says the university believes the state leadership can come together and provide funding for this important initiative. Watto says she feels the state has broken a promise and is upset at the possibility of taking out student loans.
There was this huge opportunity and that I could finally, move on and be able to accomplish all the goals and opportunities that I wanted to, that I still want to. And it's just a huge disappointment now.
In Champaign, I'm Alejandra Reyes, UI7 News.
Some students feel the U of I has broken a promise by not honoring MAP grants, but the university is looking for someone of high integrity. The position of chancellor has been posted online with very specific requirements. The committee leading the search is holding another series of open forums Thursday to hear what sectors of the campus want to see in the next chancellor. The job description outlines 10 priorities of leadership needed for the job. A more detailed list of the priorities can be found in the post online. The first 5 priorities include a successful record, budgetary experience, appreciation of academics, commitment to teaching, and the ability to attract and retain a well-rounded faculty, student body, and staff. The search committee has established an online nominations portal aside from the regular application and nomination process, which will close May 13th. The next chancellor will be the 10th at Illinois. The school is hoping they will take the opportunity to shape the direction of one of the nation's most distinguished public research universities. Motorists in Illinois have been seeing a continuous fluctuation in gas prices lately. According to GasBuddy.com, Champaign gas prices have fallen about 4 cents within the past week and about 6 cents in the United States. Overall, Champaign has the lowest gas prices in the state, which is fortunate in comparison to central Chicago prices, which are about $1.50 higher. Other than Champaign-Urbana, gas prices for Illinois have continued to gradually increase and are expected to increase an additional 20 cents by April. Fortune.com says gas prices have historically increased within the summer and spring months and decreased in the winter. So be prepared to add a few more dollars to your average gas bill. Luckily for those in Champaign-Urbana, gas prices are expected to continue to decrease for a few more weeks.
Willard Airport is making it easier for travelers in the Champaign-Urbana area to enroll in an airport security program. UI7's Shannon Kelly is in the studio with more.
TSA PreCheck makes it possible for passengers to go through. Most people that fly on a regular basis dread the long security lines that accompany many airports. By completing a background check and paying $85 a year, passengers are able to go through shorter security lines by enrolling in TSA PreCheck. U of I Senior says this feature makes traveling more enjoyable.
Like everybody else does. You go into this nice little room, you keep your shoes on, you keep your laptop in your bag, everything goes through the machine, you do the millimeter wave, and you're out. I've never taken more than 15 minutes.
The TSA PreCheck initiative was first created in 2001 and has been used at Willard Airport for over a year now. Passengers who wish to enroll must make an appointment at one of the locations offering background checks and fingerprinting. For the first time, this service will be provided at Willard Airport starting in April.
April 25th to May 6th, we have an enrollment center here at the airport where people can go online, they can fill out the pre-enrollment forms and get an appointment, and then come here to Willard Airport to get the pre-check process completed.
To be eligible, you must be a U.S. citizen. After showing proof of citizenship with a passport, birth certificate, or driver's license, you'll go through fingerprinting and a background check. If your application is approved, you'll receive a known traveler number, which will appear on future boarding passes. By enrolling in TSA PreCheck, you'll be able to leave items like your laptop in your bag and leave a light jacket on when you go through security. You can also leave on shoes and belts and leave 311 liquid items in your bag. In Champaign, I'm Shannon Kelly, UI7 News.
Yeah, definitely having the pre-check. I know flying home to Florida for me for breaks would be a lot faster with the pre-check.
I totally agree. It seems way more convenient. Well, we've got a gloomy start to the week with rain and thunderstorms possible in the middle of the week, but the sun will come out, but probably not tomorrow.
We'll be back with a look at your UI7 weather forecast.
Now we're checking in with UI7's Nathaniel Stewart to see what today's weather looks like.
It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Sun is out, flowers are blooming, and it's a nice start to the first few days of spring. Switch over to your local temperatures for today. It's currently 57 in Champaign. Mattoon and Charleston's at 56, with Danville at 60, not too far behind. Peoria is experiencing 58 degrees, and it's a little bit warmer in Springfield at 59. Moving over to your Midwest temperatures, we got Ann Arbor sitting at 50. We have Louisville at 60 degrees, Paducah and St. Louis sitting both at 62. Moving over to Cedar Rapids, where it's a little bit chillier with 59 degrees. Kansas City is experiencing most heat at 68. Moving over to your national temperatures, we have Miami at 78 and Atlanta at 69. A little bit on the chilly side, it's usually around the mid-80s. Minneapolis is sitting at 61. We have Cleveland at 41. It's really chilly over there. Moving over to Los Angeles, and we're at 60, and Phoenix, we're at 67. Also chilly for them, where they usually have a little bit warmer temperatures around about now. Looking at tonight, where it's going to be partly cloudy, a high of 40. With winds at southeast at 11 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we're going to have a partly sunny day, high of 66, low of 63, with winds at south 20 miles per hour. Moving over to your 5-day forecast, we got rain on Wednesday at 66 with a low of 58. Thursday is going to thunderstorm. It'll clear up on Friday as far as rain goes, but it will be partly cloudy. And we're going to finish off on a happier note with 2 sunny days, both Saturday and Sunday, with highs of 56. But don't forget your jacket because the lows will be 39.
Thanks, Nathaniel.
You're welcome.
Joining us now is Mia Rose with UI7 Sports.
Thanks, Claire. Up next, find out why new defensive coordinator Hardy Nickerson came to Illinois. Also, we'll be giving you the update on today's baseball game as they take a swing at the Sycamores. And finally, find out when you can come to one of Lovey's spring football practices. We'll be right back with your sports. Illinois head football coach Lovey Smith introduced his coaching staff today as they begin spring football practice Friday. UI7 News' Joey Gelman tells us one new coach that is extra special to Lovey Smith.
And so for a kid that's a recruit that's thinking about coming here, I don't think there's a better place.
That's the voice of new Illini defensive coordinator Hardy Nickerson. Nickerson joins a long list of new coaches hired by Lovey Smith, joining the Illini from the NFL. Nickerson is the former San Francisco 49ers linebackers coach and was an all-pro linebacker who has both played for and coached with Lovey Smith. Nickerson and Smith have known each other since 1996, and when the position at Illinois was open, it was easy for Nickerson to say yes to his former coach.
And being able to come here and coach with my coach, Lovey Smith, and continue to learn under him. He's been my coach, mentor. So that opportunity to me is priceless.
Lovey Smith and Hardy Nickerson have had a long history together, and they'll try to bring their brand of the Tampa 2 defense here to Illinois.
We're Tampa 2. We rely on being fundamentally sound and playing lights-out defense, playing hard, playing fast, playing physical.
While Smith and Nickerson will face a new challenge at Illinois, Smith has known all along that Nickerson is the right guy for the job.
First day I met Hardy in meeting. He was all pro Hardy Nickerson at the time. I'm a first-time linebacker coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's in the room like I'm George Halas, and he's a rookie trying to make the team. Notes on everything, just teaching the younger players how to be a pro. And that's what it's about here.
Both Smith and Nickerson will use their relationship and expertise on defense as they begin to teach the players their scheme as spring football begins. Joey Gelman, UI7 News.
In just 4 days, Lovey and the Fighting Illini are gearing up to start spring practice. The team is ready to begin their season. It was originally scheduled to begin on March 11th, but it was delayed because of the coaching change. The spring schedule includes an open practice at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 16th at 1 p.m. For the first time, fans can come at no cost to watch the Fighting Illini practice with Lovey. Their final spring practice is April 26th. The Simeon High School head basketball coach is defending two of his former recent players' domestic battery charges. In an interview with DNA Info Chicago, Robert Smith defended allegations against Illini's Kendrick Nunn and Jalen Tate. The players were charged separately for hitting women earlier this month. Smith did not express concern for the alleged victims and dismissed them as liars. In a statement, he said, "I told them you have to watch who you're around because everybody doesn't have their best interests in mind. People look at athletes and they think of money." Smith later went on to say that he told the players they knew they were not guilty of what they are accused of doing. Even though fans have to wait until April 4th to watch football, here are some games to watch out for. The Fighting Illini baseball team lost to the Indiana State Sycamores 5-4 in Terre Haute. The Illini are looking to keep the momentum going after winning 2 out of their 3 Big Ten games against Penn State. The Sycamores, on the other hand, have lost 5 of their last 6 games, the most recent ones against Big Ten's Nebraska and Indiana. The Illini have now lost the last 3 matchups at Terre Haute, and their overall record so far this season is 10-12. Let's see if they can turn it around. It looks like the Illini women's golf team has had quite a successful week. The third team finished third at the Hensler Financial Intercollegiate today. The women traveled to Kennesaw State in Georgia just a few days after earning a top 5 finish in Hawaii. Despite the Illini's overall national rank of 63, the team finished strong. Freshman Bing Singham Lee tied for 7th individually at 9 over par, and 3 Illini players tied for 15th individually, each at 12 over par. Illinois was the only Big Ten representatives in the top team field. The field featured films in the top 50, including Texas Tech and Augusta. The teams finished in first and second place, respectively, with the Illini coming in at third. March Madness is wrapping up, but a former U of I basketball player has carried lessons he learned in the sport with him. Off the court, Dee Brown visited Champaign today to speak to elementary school students about the value of hard work.
March is one of those times where I just keep emphasizing this hard work. You see hard work pays off. You see the tears. You see the tears of joy. You see the tears of disappointment.
That's it for today's sports.
Thanks, Mia.
Batman vs. Superman had a record-breaking opening weekend in the U.S. and made even more overseas. That's part of today's Hollywood Minute.
Greatest gladiator match in the history of the world.
While Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice shattered North American box office records in its opening weekend, it also set new ones overseas. The movie made $254 million internationally, making it the largest March opening ever and the biggest opening weekend for a superhero film.
Right now, I'm sitting in a very pretty position in terms of providing you a lot of information.
A controversial anti-vaccination documentary has been pulled from the Tribeca Film Festival. Variety reports acclaimed actor and festival co-founder Robert De Niro announced Vaxxed from Cover-Up to Catastrophe will not be screened as a part of the festival. The movie was directed by Andrew Wakefield, the former doctor whose now discredited research claimed a link between autism and the MMR vaccine. Dragons and Chipmunks rule the home video charts. Season 5 of Game of Thrones debuted at the top of VideoScan's home video disc sales chart. Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Road Chip wasn't far behind, debuting in second. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Rick Damigella.
Will be visiting the U of I this week for the Illini Union Board's first lecture series of the semester. Some might remember her from Disney Channel's Sister Sister. Tia Mowry will be on campus this Thursday at 7 p.m. Since her appearance on the show with twin sister Tamara, she has portrayed many roles as an actress, is a published author, and a successful music artist. The Q&A interview is free and will be in the iRooms in the Illini Union.
You know, I have to say I'm super excited about this event. I was a huge Sister Sister fan growing up.
Yeah, me too. Definitely remember watching the show.
Yeah, it was nice to see them grow up kind of with them. Disney Channel, I remember watching them since I was little.
Definitely always made me want a twin.
And I couldn't tell the difference between either one, so I guess I kind of have a crush on both.
And that's a wrap for tonight's edition of UI7 News. Thanks for joining us.
We'll be back next Tuesday. Here's another edition of UI7 News on Thursday night.
Good night.